Well, I don't know how fast this happens, but we're already a quarter of the way through the NBA season. Seems like just in the blink of an eye, probably because the basketball has been pretty good. I'm here with Brian Windhorst, and Brian, we're going to do quarter season awards with a little twist. We're going to start off with two awards that don't actually exist. Why don't you go ahead and give me the best team award so far?
Well, this is an easy one, Izzy. How about the Boston Celtics?
I love this place. I love being here.
They've been killing. Listen to this. They're number one shooting two-pointers. They're number one shooting three-pointers. They're number one at the foul line. So it's not going to surprise you. They've got the number one offense in the league, and it's by a lot. They kill you in the half court. They kill you in transition. They kill you after they get a rebound. They've got Jason Tatum having arguably an MVP level season to this point. And guess what? Their best defensive player, Robert Williams, hasn't played yet. He is coming back soon, and then watch their defense pick it up. They've been awesome.
They've been awesome, and I can't get over how good Al Horford continues to get. It's amazing, the fountain of youth he's been able to find. I'm going to give you the biggest disappointment, Brian, and that is the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, no, it's super frustrating not really knowing what team is going to show up from night to night.
It's already been pretty confusing as to what was going on with Rudy Gobert there. He's effectively the most efficient role man in the league. He just hasn't been doing it nearly enough. Definitely not as much as he did in Utah. And when you talk about sort of their big three, Rudy Gobert, 1.4 blocks a game. That's the least that he's had since his rookie year. And say what you will about offensively, defensively, he's still got to do what he came there to do, which is be the defensive player of the year. Karl Anthony Towns, statistically speaking, having the worst season since his rookie season. And Anthony Edwards, where we needed him to be a little bit more of a grown-up, both off the floor and on the floor. So far, not really doing it, kind of stagnant on the floor in terms of his numbers. So you look at that trio and the Minnesota Timberwolves, especially when you consider everything they gave up for Rudy Gobert and the amount of pressure that they have on them to succeed this year. Wildly disappointing, although they might find a little something, maybe a blessing in disguise with Karl Anthony Towns out 4 to 6 weeks. Maybe they find more ways to use Rudy Gobert correctly in that stretch. So let's go to actual awards now, Brian. Who is your MVP so far?
Yeah, look, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's already got two of them. He might get that third one this year. He has just been dominant.
Please, after this day, don't call me MVP until I win it again next year.
He has really shown that he has got full control of his offensive game. He is just a force. There are times in games where you could see it go either way. He grabs the game by the throat and just takes it over. And he's carried the Bucks with a whole bunch of injuries early on, including to Chris Middleton, who's their second best player. And even though he's had some free throw shooting woes, he's continued to work and he's actually improved that and gotten back to where he was last year. I just think Giannis, especially because of the early injuries and how well the Bucks are playing, has put himself in a great position to be at the leader of that conversation.
That's funny. I think he's going to get there to be on the top of that ladder, but I could have sworn you were going to go with Jason Tatum after you said, best player on the best team. So, all right, a little bit of a surprise. I'm going to take care of most improved. And I want to take this award sort of back to the basics, because my award winner would be Bol Bol.
Just a freak. I don't know. It's hard to really describe Bol.
And last year, if you remember, Ja Morant won the award, and everybody was kind of like, what? I mean, Ja's a little too good to win this award, and this is where I want to go with this. I want it to be a guy who comes out of nowhere. And you can say what you will about minutes, right? Obviously, if you go from very few minutes to a lot of minutes, your numbers are going to be better. But what you have to do to improve, to get yourself on the floor, and in Bol Bol's case, in a starting lineup, in a different team, and now you watch him sort of be a nightmare for defenses sometimes because of his length and his shooting ability and handling ability as well. I think it's only going to get better for him as the season goes. So by the end of it, it could be sort of a nice, fun runaway situation with Bol Bol as your most improved player. It's also a great sign of sort of the evolution of the league when you think about sort of the size of the people that are coming through. You've got Giannis, you mentioned the Greek freak, and you got Victor Wembanyama coming next year at 7'4", doing all these things. So I think Bol Bol has found his place in the NBA and definitely should win that MIP award.